Eric Murray and his progress so far?
I mean, he's behind because he got a broken hand last year. He missed probably 2/3 of the season. He's getting better. You know, we're asking him to do a lot more things than what he's done before. But he's getting better. I mean, he gets better every day. He gets better. He plays harder every day.
What is it you're asking him to do that he didn't do at LaSalle?
Go out and guard on the perimeter. Catch it and pass it on the perimeter. We're asking him to do more things on the perimeter than what he's done before.
Has he ever done much of anything other than post up?
You know, I honestly do. I haven't watched that much tape. I don't know. I really don't know what their scheme was. But you know, he's not near as at this point. He's not near as knowledgeable as Dennis or Kevin Oreen or even really for that matter Dom. But I mean, that's just a matter of continuing to do it.
Coach, with Eric, and I don't know how much you can speak about this, but I guess one of the knocks on him has always been like maybe attitude or ego. What's he been like since he's been here? I mean, have you seen anything like that? Has he grown up, so to speak, since he's been here?
No, I think he gets better every day. Yeah. Just, you know, and I think a lot of guys, you know, they're used to when you're used to having a lot of success, and then all of a sudden you come in and you're not having the success that you know maybe you had before you thought you were going to have. You know, you start questioning, you know, yourself or things. I mean, that happens every year. It's just a matter of doing it. You know, you just got to do it and do it and do it and do it. I mean, I think he's certainly got the ability to pass the ball very well. It's just asking him to do things he hasn't done before.
What were your, did you get anything done Friday night other than show people a bunch of stuff? Or did you
watch yourself an hour film? After that with them, which I think was good for them to see. You know, you think you're screening, but you're not screening. You know, you think you're cutting hard, but you're not cutting hard. I mean, I don't know. You know, right, wrong, or indifferent, we want to play faster, and so the majority of the work that we did, we had 2 hours a week. You know, it's hard to get a whole lot done in 2 hours a week now. And a good portion of that was transition stuff. I mean, we were just awful in transition a year ago. We didn't get easy baskets, and it's just so hard to play when you don't get easy baskets. And we felt like we had more guys. You know, I mean, after we lost Kevin, you know, we're asking Dennis to play probably more minutes than he was capable of playing last year. Now he's 1,000 times better this year. He's in the best shape of his life. He's really running. You know, we just didn't have any subs. And I think with more people, you know, you can ask them to do more. They're not going to have to play as many minutes. And the idea being, you know, they're going to be just as productive in less minutes than they would be, you know, with more minutes, because they're going to be able to play harder. We're going to be able to have more possessions.
Coach, the last couple of years, you've put together some defensive teams that thrived on, you know, making the other teams do what they didn't want to do, holding down the scoring. As you're talking about playing faster and playing more in transition, does defense change at all with this group, or do you still go after those same goals? Can you extend the defense a little this year? Is it going to be a different defensive team, I guess?
We'd like to. We haven't to this point. You know, I always always taught that you have to fortify the basket before you can move it on out. And so we're continuing to work on being able to do that. And as we get better at that, we'll be able to continue to extend it, further and further and further out. It's not always field goal percentage defense, when you get so spread out, you're going to give up a few more easy baskets.
Right.
The hope is that you create enough turnovers that really that what it comes down to is wins and really scoring margin. And our scoring margin, as you know, was we won some close ones and we lost a bunch of close ones, but we don't want to make it close. It seemed like everything came down to, we made a bad pass, we made a dumb turnover, we missed a front end of a one-on-one, or at times we missed both ends of a two-shot foul. And, hopefully that when you play a little faster, you have a little more possessions, we can get a little bit more of a cushion.
The teams start hitting upper 60s, 70s on you, it's not a concern as much then, or?
Not if we can get easy baskets.
Right.
I mean, that's what we're trying to do. It's hard going in and playing the people that we've played and that we continue to play and say you have to hold to 65 or we can't win.
Right.
That's tough. And generally the team that wins gets easy baskets, and we've generated, you can generate that a lot of different ways. You can generate it off turnovers, you can generate it by beating people down the floor, but the way we've generated it in the past, well, really in the past everywhere I've ever been, is we have been, for the last 5 years, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the Big East. We went from being the worst rebounding team in the Big East to the best rebounding team in the Big East. And you get easy baskets off of, how many easy baskets does KJ get because he rebounds the ball? So, you can do it different ways, but I think the ideal thing is to be able to do it a multitude of ways where we still have to rebound the ball.
Right.
Because when we rebound the ball, when everybody's so concerned about us rebounding the ball offensively, you're not leaking out. But then you can't throw it to them. We went from having the best turnover percentage, assist to turnover ratio, to one of the worst. And hopefully that's because we have a bunch of new guys that we're very unsure. We're playing 18-year-old kids against 22-year-old men in a lot of situations. So hopefully we're better at that. And we had years where we would force 20 to 22 turnovers a game. You're going to get some easy baskets, you do that.
Right.
What's it say about Jawan that he's voted a team captain without having played an actual game with these guys? And
I didn't know they had a vote.
is it your vote?
No. And every time I pick them, I pick the wrong one. So, no, I didn't know they voted yet. I saw that in the paper. I think obviously it means he has respect to his teammates. But I honestly didn't know they had a vote. He's tried. He's trying to be a vocal leader, but again, the difference between him and Eric was he didn't have a broken hand. Eric was in a cast. Eric was standing on the sideline, and I think that's hurt. That's hurt his growth. There's nothing you can do about it.
Has he showed any of those characteristics that you look for in those kind of guys in practice so far? Can you identify anything in him?
He's had days. He's had days where he's really rebounded the ball extremely well. What we're trying to create is consistency on an everyday basis, and it's hard to do that when you haven't been made to whatever on a consistent basis, and it's really hard when you stand on the sidelines all the time. It's, I think, you guys saw Dennis, I think, on Friday night. I mean, Dennis is a totally different guy. He's running, he's more active. He's light years ahead of where he was defensively. But that's the guy who's been here for 3 years. He ought to be better.
Last year, you were talking about how you could look at when the team started making a slide, as when Doreen went down. You talk about Dennis is in better shape this year. You got Eric Murray to work with, Dom. Where does Noreen fit in this year? Could he be just as important this year?
Well, Kevin's one of those guys that his statistics don't tell how valuable he is. They don't show the fact that he blocked his man out every time. They don't show the fact that when we're not getting the ball reversed, he was a guy who could reverse the ball. There were a lot of people who would say we were much, much better when he played because he got more people involved in the offense. I said for a long time, Deshaun was so good because they really understood how to play. And I think, Kevin probably of all of our guys probably has a better understanding of how to play. He's very unselfish. For a guy who doesn't run extremely well and can't jump at all, he gets his hands on a whole bunch of balls. He keeps balls alive. What we haven't been able to do is rebound the ball in flurries. Miss a second shot. Maybe miss a third shot and tip the fourth one in. Well, that's what Eric Murray gives you because instead of being a jumping contest, it becomes a reaching contest, and there won't be a whole lot of people out reaching. And he's just got to continue to become more and more active. He's not as active as what we'd like for him to be.
Anything else? Thanks, Coach.
Mm-hmm.